EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Uptown Charlotte and rain-soaked Bank of America Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Carolina Panthers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Smith, his first carry, and spins away. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 21-yard line.
Down, 185.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Here we go.
Now Ito Smith. And all the way down to the 37. And he is finally going to be brought down, but not before he gets it to the Panthers' 37-yard line.
First down, Raiders.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah. Not
an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now it's Smith running right. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
Down, 180.
Check, right 54, right 54.
Into the red zone, it's Carr. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Throwing now is Carr to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
Raider 9.
59, Mike, 59.
Hey, Haywood.
Coming to you. Coming to you.
Carr now on 3rd and goal. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
Right now.
Right there. Right there.
180. 180. We're good. We're good. 280.
Here we go now with Smith. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Another try for Smith. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Ito Smith, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple of extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. From the gun, here's Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cleveland Farrell able to record his 5th sack of the season. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here we go.
Now a 1st down throw for Newton. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Throwing again on 2nd down. Newton, and they got the hook up. This is Olsen. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. To the air again, Newton. And that will be incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. On now, Graham Gano. He's hit from 63 as recently as last year. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, this is a guy who is already among an elite group of kickers that have hit from 60-plus in an NFL game, but that's a tough ask to try and get him to produce another one here.
Exactly right. It's elite group for a reason, isn't it? No small feat for him to hit it from that distance. This one doesn't go through. I always marvel at those guys because it's the same approach every time, the same smoothness when they swing their leg. Doesn't look like they're putting anything extra even when they're kicking it for 60-plus.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Carr. He's going to air one out. This is caught. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And it's now 14-0. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On 2nd and 9, Newton. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Ready? Ready?
Check 53's mine. And watch that. And watch the ball. Shoot.
From the 50, Newton. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So here's a first and 10 now in Raider territory. Down at the 33. Again, Newton. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
They'll start on the ground. It's Ito Smith. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. And he came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. You might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Throwing his car on third down. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 30 yards there. And, of course, the first down as well. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. They'll try the right side here with Smith. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
What down? 180. 59. Will we get back down? What we got?
They'll toss it to Smith. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long.
And it's 3rd down.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. Now Carr. Looking deep downfield. That's going to be caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. That's a heck of a way to convert on 3rd and long, and he showed a lot of trust in his receiver.
And that trust was justified because he went up and got the football and converted on it down. You shouldn't. 3rd and long like that, that's supposed to be an incompletion at the least.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Boy, that's the kind of interception that can save a game right there. They're already down 2 scores. Huge play, slowing down what was going against them.
I was thinking the same thing. You get down 3 scores there at this stage, could be in for a long ball game.
Here we go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
53, Mike 53. Watch the out.
Out of the gun, Newton. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. The shotgun snap for Newton. And Olsen over the middle. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Newton now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Operating from the gun. Newton. Open man is Samuel. Complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Newton now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Newton. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked out since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half.
Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. This is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
20.
To throw is Newton. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards to pick up there. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Newton. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Newton now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. The tackle made by Blake Martinez.
Well, it didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here we go.
Throwing on 2nd down. Newton, Wright's got it. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Newton on 3rd down. Completes it to Samuel. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 2nd and 9, Newton. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Maurice Hurst in there to drop him for a loss on the play. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Here's Newton. This will be caught just inside the 10. And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the first down. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Now Graham Gano to try the Panther field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Gano's kick is right through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They begin with a run by Smith. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set him back for second down.
It'd be real interesting to take a look at this play later, because on this pitch toss play, I get the sense that he just followed the pulling guard or the pulling offensive lineman through that hole and spilled this play early.
Yeah, because he didn't even get to the outer third of the field. He was tackled in the middle third.
Yeah, when you're talking about a pitch or a toss tackled there, that means they read it fast and diagnosed it and knocked him down in a hurry.
He's going to let this one go deep. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 41-yard line.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Check pass, check pass.
Back to throw, Newton. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down.
And how about the dime look here? 6 DBs on 3rd and inches.
Daring them to run the ball.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Now Newton on 1st down. And that's complete to McCaffrey. 14 yards, good for a Panther 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Panther 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Newton now to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Gun.
From the gun, Newton. Got his target, Samuel. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
First and goal, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts. From the gun, here's Newton. This will be caught at about the 6. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's McCaffrey. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. If you're going to throw it, something quick.
And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter. So a big play coming for the Panthers. They'll go for 2.
Big stop, let's go. Check 15, check 15. Check 3,
20.
They're going to try and run for it. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. And remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
They'll run it again with Smith. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. From the gun, it's Carr. Got a man, it's complete. Williams. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the run, it's Smith. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. On 2nd and 11 now. Carr. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 44-yard line. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Smith. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that, and when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find a good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some.
Newton to throw. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. Oh, no, he lost the football. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
First down and 10.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Inside of a minute to go now. 2 timeouts left. Still in pretty good shape.
I think they're in excellent shape here if they use the timeouts judiciously and use the sideline as an additional timeout.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors they have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Max Crosby in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
It's 4th down.
And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. So it all comes down to the right foot of Graham Gano. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. So it all comes down to the right foot of Graham Gano. Footing obviously an issue in the driving rain. This one for the win. And his kick is no good. Oh, by the slimmest of margins, he missed it wide to the left. Well, befitting a tight game like this, it all came down to the wire. But in the end, the field goal to win, it goes begging.
Oh, man, that is a tough way to lose a football game. You put yourself in position, and you give yourself a chance, but it's just not meant to be.
Carr down to a knee, and that ought to just about do it. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, You think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for Oakland, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in Week 8. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.